Right guys, welcome back. It has been a very, very long time since we've done a bat rep, but we just thought, you know, why not? Some things have changed in 30k. Let's have a game and we'll film it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you some of the new custodians, although not in gold, but we'll tell you about that later. And then against my Iron Hand, which you've seen multiple times if you've kept track of the channel. We'll quickly just go over the mission, which is just going to be a standard one out of the 40k rulebook, which is Crusade. We're just playing 5 objectives, each worth 3 points. They are pretty randomly scattered throughout the table. You can see them through the game, but they're just sort of dotted around, mostly on this side of the table actually. But anyway, we'll quickly run through the list. We'll start off with the Custodians as they're new and shiny. Simon, have you got to talk us through the list?
Yeah, so I'm probably going to get some of the names wrong, so I apologise for that. So we have one Calidus, I think. This is like the new transport for the Custodians. So it has a... oh, I don't know the names of the guns. It's like a strength 6 AP3 autocannon, pretty much. It's armor 13 with a flare shield, 12 on the side and then 11 on the rear with 4 hull points. Inside of this one is Valdor, the first Custodian, and he's got 4 Custodian guards, so these are the guys with just the spears. Then over here we have the Galatus pattern Contemptor, so he's got the Uber sword and the shield, so he's got a 5+ rerollable save anything in the front arc, so he's quite cool. And then over here we have the second Calidus, or Cadillac as I refer to it, so if I refer to it as a Cadillac, yeah. This one has got 4 Custodian Guard spear guys again, same as Valdor, but no supporting character in there. And then in reserves for the Custodes, or in the tanks, we have, so here is my Valdor and the 4 spear guards, and then we have the other 4 here. And then I have deep striking. We have 1 unit of Custodes with the shields and swords.
It's night time where they are.
Yeah, 4 unpainted, so, well, 5 unpainted actually. So I'm still working my way through them. So one of them has a Solarite gauntlet, the rest have the swords.
That's Power Fist that are AP1 for you guys at home.
Yeah, Strength 10 AP1. It's not a specialist weapon as well, which is quite handy if he wasn't carrying a shield, but he is.
Your Imperial Fist players will know about them.
Yes. And then we have 1 deep striking unit of 3 Custodes. They all have Adrosite spears. So these are, if you remember back to last year, there was this limited edition release model. And it came with like a really cool gun. It looked very cool, and the rules were very good as well. So
and it was free.
Strength 5, AP2, instant death, armor bane, like meltery bolt guns things. So they're 1 single shot, but they could be very, very good. Yeah, and then as a allied detachment, because it's a growing force. So we have. In reserve we have 1 Fire Raptor of the Sons of Horus, Loyalist Sons of Horus. So this is Loken's detachment. Then for HQ we have a Forge Lord who looks suspiciously like a Primus Medicae, so he's
Whereabouts is he hiding then?
He's all the way over here. Then we have an Apothecary supporting the entire squad, and we have 20 Tactical Marines with a Veteran Sergeant with a Nuncio Vox. And power axe and melter bombs, so it's a bit of a blob. And that's my 2,500 point list.
Cool. So onto the Iron Hand. We've actually already deployed, obviously, so you can see the deployed forces of the Loyalist Sons of Horus and their black friends. My army of Iron Hand. I am deployed, and this is it. This is my command tank. That is the only thing that I'm starting on the table with. But in reserve, I have got 3 squads of 9 veterans, each with an apothecary. They will all be arriving via outflank in each of those rhinos that you can just see there. Then also I have a Terminator command squad, which is 3 guys with a 2 chain fist, power fists and the banner, along with their Primus Medicare friend and a Delegatus with artificer armour, all the gear basically, and then they will be arriving in that Anvilus, which has beached itself on some nice scatter decorations that Simon's got within his house. And then I've also got 2 Leviathans with Gravflux Bombards in Dreadnought drop pods, as you can see there. And then finally we've just got a Fire Raptor. So there's a lot from my stuff coming on turn 1 and turn 2, hopefully, provided my Commander Rhino doesn't kick the bucket. But anyway, so currently I've got the first turn because I deployed first. So it's over to Simon, and he's got some shenanigans, so he gets to roll 2 dice on the seize roll. So Simon, if you want to...
Yeah. So Valdor, I recall, I shouldn't say that on back rep, I'll get told off, but I recall that he can re-roll seize the initiative roll, so...
right, so he re-rolls, it's not 2 dice.
No, sorry, he rolls 2 dice.
He rolls 2 dice.
So
we'll get it right eventually, guys.
Here we go, so Valdor does not seize.
There's no seizing there, it's a 5 and a 4. So we will check back in at the top of turn 1. Yeah. Peace out. Right guys, top of turn 1. Fair to say not a particularly brilliant turn for me. So the 2 Dreadnoughts in their pods came in, here and here. Because Custodes have a special rule where if you deep strike within 12 of them, if you have to roll a dice, and on a 4+ you mishap. So I wanted to steer clear of those, so that's why these guys aren't as close as they normally would be, because I don't want to potentially lose 800 points in the first turn. Like, not really worth the risk. So both the Dreadnoughts came down. Obviously my tank didn't move at all, it's just stayed exactly where it was. Meant that this one here didn't scatter, which is good. The Leviathan here that came in shot at the Contemptor, the special the Dreadnought with the shield and the sword. Penetrated with his Gravflux Bombard, but he passed his invulnerable save, so that whiffed. The Melter Gun failed to penetrate, so that was that. Then this one over here, this special chap, fired his Gravflux Bombard at the massive blob of Marines, thinking, yeah, here we go, he's going to tidy up, and all he did was...
3.
No, he wounded 1, he hit 1, but he passed his full no pain. So that was it. And then I used my Phosphorus Discharger, thinking, yeah, again, this will tidy up. Did 19 wounds out with it, and he killed 3, thanks to some cover and some feel no pain. So not the best first turn. I used my orbital array from my Command Rhino, targeted the Marine so that it didn't scatter 3d6, scattered onto the large floaty tank of doom, and did a penetrating hit which got weapon destroyed and destroyed the...
you destroyed the Arachnus Blaze Cannon, so it was the top pole mounted.
The Arachnid Blade Cannon, killing Starship Trooper aliens. Yeah. And so he turned it into a dice.
Yeah, and it's jinked as well, so it's...
a snapshot next turn with its rubbish bolter thing at the front. So yeah, it could have been better first turn for me, but I've still got a lot to go, so hopefully I will survive this and get to wreak some vengeance on these guys later on. Anyway, we'll check back in at the bottom of turn 1. Right guys, bottom of turn 1. Simon, talk us through the events.
Okay, so nothing amazing happened, but just some moving around. So the Coronas moved up round this corner and disembarked Valdor and his Guardians. They hopped out just ready to dish out some damage next turn. The Galatus moved up from this ruin here and assaulted into the Leviathan.
Luckily it has fleet.
Yes, yeah, that is really lucky. I rolled a 1 and a 2 to charge and I was 5 inches away, so good job that this tank has fleet, so important for you guys to remember as well.
Walker, not a tank, but yeah.
Then he assaulted the Leviathan, only hit twice and then did 1 pen, but the Leviathan passed his shield save, and then in return the Leviathan hit once.
Penetrated once.
But he passed his re-rollable 5-up save from the shield, so nothing really going on over there, so let's see what happens next turn. Over here, the Jinking Calidus disembarked the Custodes over here. They've just spread out and walking their way over to this objective here in the centre. And the tactical squad held their ground. So
they are prepared for their inevitable death.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing fascinating happening, but let's see what happens when reinforcements come in. I know that there's a whole army of Iron Hands yet to appear, and there's still quite a lot of Custodes to come. So
yeah, and importantly, I still have my tank. So as long as I don't roll ones, some stuff's going to arrive, and things might die, maybe, because nothing's happened so far, really. Sorry. Anyway, we will check back in at the top of turn 2. Right guys, welcome back. Top of turn 2 for the Iron Hand. So everything's arrived apart from one tactical squad who are still chilling, eating their cucumber sandwiches. Basically, the veterans on the far side showed up to take care of some Marines that were in that building, double team them with a Leviathan. While the other Rhino came on with its veterans, they're still chilling inside. They're not quite ready to join the fray, so their Rhino moved on and then turbo boosted. Fire Raptor came on in prime position to pump the rear armour of that Cadillac, or whatever it's called, with some Sunder Strength 8 AP2 missiles, but we'll talk about it in a minute. And then the Claw came on with my command squad and just landed there ready to strike. So onto the shooting phase. The Fire Raptor fired 3 of its missiles into the Cadillac and completely whiffed, couldn't even get one penetrating, just rolled nothing more than a 3. The autocannon from the far side, this side, shot into the rear of this Cadillac and stunned it, so it can't move or shoot next turn. And the Avenger bolt cannon, just for a potluck, shot into the Custodes in front of it and actually managed to kill one, so I managed to roll two ones on his saves. Shooting phase over there, the sniper flamers and the bolt guns killed 3 guys of the Marines that were in this building, and then the Gravflux bombard killed another 5, and then the Leviathan assault phase. Leviathan assaulted the Marines, killed 3. Simon Felder's lead ship, and the Leviathan cut them all down. So that's first blood to me. Got rid of the HQs, and basically all the Sons of Horus are gone apart from a Fire Raptor now. So one fell swoop for the Leviathan, pretty decent there. And then over here, the Leviathan that was valiantly fighting off the Dreadnought with the shield got blown to pieces, unfortunately. So what, you take some, you win some, you lose some. So some stuff's happened. Things have died. So we will check back in at the bottom of turn 2, when maybe there'll be a Fire Raptor appearing. Who knows? So, bottom of turn 2, Simon, talk us through what happened.
Okay, so for reserves, we had the Sons of Horus Fire Raptor that came on and thundered along this corner here. We had the second Custodian squad, so the guys with the shields and the swords, and I rolled
in the night.
2. Huh?
In the night time.
In the night time, yeah, they're camouflaged. But I didn't get the 3 Adricite Spear Custodes, so they're still in reserve. So I got some more backup coming. I decided to bring these guys down over here because there's 3 objectives going on over here, and these are scoring, so it made sense to pull them over here. They deep struck and did scatter quite large, but no mishap, so that was okay.
Unfortunately, it didn't miss that because my Rhino would have meant he'd have been -1, so on a 1 or 2 they would have all died.
Oh shit! Well, that's a good job that didn't happen then. 3 of the guys shot into the back of Rhino, but and did 1 whole point, which is good. Gave them some sort of role in that turn. Valdor and his guard, they moved up around the corner. They were 12 inches away from that veteran squad in that Rhino, so I did try to assault it, but obviously fate was not really in my favour on that one because it's a long way to go. So that's fine. So they're in the middle of the board here. This Coronus was crew stunned or crew shaken last turn, so it couldn't move or fire. So I snap fired the Arachnus Blaze Cannon, which is Strength 8 AP1 at the Rhino, but as you can guess, I didn't hit because I need 6s. This Coronus, he saw this monstrosity peeking around the corner, and his exact words were, "Fuck that shit." So he's flat out sped up to his brother and as far away from this tank as possible. So yeah, fuck that shit. The Fire Raptor, he shot 3 of his missiles, 1 autocannon and the assault cannon, heavy assault barrel cannon at the Fire Raptor, and did 2 hull points, destroyed 1 of his missiles.
So I have no missiles left on my Fire Raptor.
Which is, yeah, so that's good. And then you snap firing next turn as well.
Apart from one machine spiriting thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Best flyer in the game though, by a mile. And then finally the other fire autocannon shot into the Anvilus that was here and did 1 whole point, which was then followed up by a massive charge on both occasions. So the spear guys, they rolled a 10 to get in, and they needed a 9, so that was huge. And then the Galatus that needed a 10 rolled 11. So again, this is the fleet on the Walker, so it's such a helpful tool to have.
Yeah, thought I'd left a big enough gap there, but
yeah,
bloody dice.
So yeah, not bad. So we have a command squad over there that might be some trouble, might not be.
They're going to bring the pain. I've got faith in them.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's it for my turn. So a good result.
So yeah, it's all happening in the end amongst the objectives at the moment. There's a lot going on. So we will check back in at the top of turn 3. Right guys, top of turn 3, my last remaining unit came on, with the veterans of the apothecary came on right there. Fire Raptor just moved around the corner just to try and get some shots off at these tanks. The command squad pretty much stood where it was, and the veterans and Leviathan have run across the board because they're feeling somewhat left out at the moment. There's not a lot going on in there over there. Shooting phase, not a lot happened for me really. Everything that was going to punch was out of range. The Fire Raptor shot into the 2 tanks. The one closest to me has jinked, so that's, I guess, kind of useful because that strength 8 cannon could do some damage. And then over here, the big Whiffingtons. These veterans who have all got sniper flamers, sniper bolt guns. Basically, they normally just absolutely murder, death, kill stuff. Shot into these guys in the dark, and they caused 2 wounds. So 18 veterans, 4 flamers, so they rending on 6s, and the bolt guns are rending on 6s as well. So I think I did something like, well, just not enough. So 2 guys are on 1 wound each now, which was absolutely awful. Not the best, and these veterans are now sat in front of 2 units of custodians, which are designed to kill Space Marines. So that's probably not going to go that well for me, but hey ho. Over there though, my command squad were like, right, let's show them how it's done. They charged into custodians in front of that dreadnought and written them to pieces, receiving absolutely no damage in return. So next they are going to fight the dreadnought. So yes, that probably won't go so well, but you know, it's got to happen sometime. So that was the end of it. That was the end of my turn 3. So we will check back in at the bottom of turn 3. Bottom of turn 3, custodians. They killed Space Marine. Simon, talk us through it.
Alright, so the 2 Cronus kind of stayed where they are. They put some shots into the Rhino. It did 1 whole point, I think. My last unit of the guard came in with the Androsite spears, so I deep struck onto this rock face here. I scattered 7 and then landed here, so it's in kind of safe but also in quite a lot of trouble now. They shot their spears into the Leviathan, but Adam saved the 1 shot that went through, so no damage inflicted there. The Valdor and his guard, and the shield guard moved up over here. They both blitzed both squads of vets over here with lightning blows and swords and lots of
poor shit.
Molecular severance. Yeah, so we're good. The Fire Raptor went into hover mode, so he flipped around and shot his big Gatling cannon and at the vet squad here, and then the autocannon at the Leviathan there.
With a missile, yeah.
Yeah, so...
You managed to kill one of the veterans and took 2 hull points off the Leviathan, but not enough to slow it down, so it's going to go chomping some stuff in a minute.
Yeah. And then finally the Galatus. He got +3 dice for Rampage, and then did 5 wounds to the command squad, but they're all rocking digital lasers on cataphractii armour, which for Iron Hands is amazing.
Not digital lasers, it's cyber familiar. So 3 up invuns on characters in there. So I managed to tank every single one of them. 3+ invulnerable save.
Hard as nails, Terminators. So they're still rocking it, and they've put the Galatus down to initiative 1.
And it's on 1 hull point. So bit of cheering for the Iron Hands right now.
Yeah.
They need some luck. Things are not going well.
Yeah. So this side of the table is good, but who knows what will happen over here.
These guys, of course, absolute carnage. Literally just took 20 Space Marines off the table like it was, well, getting up on 2 PM on a Sunday. It was so easy for them.
Like ripping up a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
So we will check back in at the top of turn 4 when the Iron Hands have killed all the custodians. Ha ha. Top of turn 4?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we play 4 turns, something like that. Top of turn 4. Obviously everything's in already, so no reserves coming on. Fire Raptor just flew over here to have a shot at some Space Marine killers. The Leviathan marched up onto the 3 guys with spears that had turned up, and the tactical squad were like, well, with the Fire Raptors coming down to join us, we'll bundle in. So they ran over and threw a crack grenade at it. Shooting phase, not much happened. The Fire Raptor fired its cannon into the guys in the night and killed one actually, so that was alright. The Leviathan fired its Grav Flux Bombard, and as has been a slight theme of the game, scattered 6 inches off it, so it hit nothing. Metal Gun did do a wound, but he passed invulnerable save. The Rhinos all legged it because these guys are annoying, and that was it for the shooting phase. Assault, the Leviathan charged into the 3 custodians and did 3 wounds and killed 3. Efficient. The Terminators and the shieldy Dreadnought, cool looking thing but very annoying, hit each other lots, and everyone passed their saves. I did 1 glancing hit, he failed his first one, and then that shield allows him to re-roll his invulnerable saves, failed invulnerable saves, and he passed it on a 6, so nothing happened there. And then we did the guy with the Power Fist, hit the Fire Raptor and did 1 glancing hit to it. So the Fire Raptor's down to 3 hull points now. But yeah. So yeah, not a lot of great deal for me really. I basically have to try and kill another scoring unit in order to be able to get anything out of this game. But it's not going too badly. So we will check back in at the bottom of turn 4 and hopefully something will have happened here. Right, bottom of turn 4, some stuff's happened, so I'm going to go for it.
So the pace is quickening now. I think we're getting close to the end. So
it's like 3-minute turns or something ridiculous.
Yeah, so what happened? The Fire Raptor spun around and laid some bullets into the veterans over here. So they took 3 Marines down with the autocannon and the Gatling cannon. Forced a morale check, but they survived that. He threw the Reaper autocannon into the side armour of the Leviathan, but didn't manage to break the shield, so he's still on the 2 hull points. The Galatus went through 1 last round with the command squad, did take out 2 guys, one of them was the Banner, but unfortunately it was his time to go, so the Chain Fist blew it up, or blew it to hell. So that is gone, and the command squad is there. And then over here I've put Valdor and his guard around 1 objective there, and the shield guard are over on that objective over there, and then the 2 Coronas have kind of just stayed where they are. That one shot into that Rhino to see if he could hurt it a bit, but
down to 1 hull point.
Yeah. Oh, did he do 1 hull point?
Yeah, it's down to 1. Yeah.
Oh, well done, Corona. So yeah, a little bit of outcome from that, but yeah, that is Custodes turn 4. So I'm not sure where we're going with this now, but
it's going to be tight. Tight like a tiger. Anyway, we will check back in at the top of turn 5. I really struggle on the top and bottom thing. It's weird. It's American. Anyway, peace out. Right then, Iron Hands top of turn 5. So the Fire Raptor decided that we got nothing to lose, so it went to ground, fired its cannon into the custodians that were sat on that objective, did 7 out of 7 wounds, and Simon found 3 saves, so there were only 3 wounds left on him, and there's proof of the last one. So I've wiped him off that objective, which is good. So better than expected. The Rhinos all rushed up on the basis that they were going to have to flat out to contest it, but there's no need anymore. The Terminators just hopped onto that objective. They aren't scoring, so it's purely a denial situation there. The other water cannon shot into these custodians here with Valdor did some wounds, but he passed all the saves. Leviathan ran up, fired its Gravflux bombard at this, but rolled an 11 on the armor penetration, so didn't quite manage to get through it. And the veterans, Mr. Powerfist, let's find him.
Where's he?
There he is.
Yeah.
He penetrated said Fire Raptor and then rolled a 6. It blew up and killed 3 Marines, but I don't care about that. The Fire Raptor's gone. So currently it's 1 objective all each, I think, just about, because we've both. I've got 1, he's got 1, so it's bottom of turn 5 next. Simon's got to try and swing it one way at the moment. I think the Iron Hands have just got it on the basis that they've got first blood, because no one's got line breaker at the moment. No. So we will check back in at bottom of turn 5 and then see if the game continues, which will be exciting. Anyway, here you go. So bottom of turn 5, Simon, go for it.
Okay, so pivotal turn. So the guards stayed where they are and just hugged the objective there. The Coronis moved up, so it was getting line breaker in the Adams deployment zone, and this Coronis aimed at the veteran squad here. He shot his Lastrum bolt cannon at the squad there, but he had an apothecary at the front, so he tanked all his shots.
With artificial armour keeling.
Yeah. Very important taking artificial armour on apothecaries, I think.
100%. Don't leave home without it.
No. And then, yeah, nothing really happened this turn, with the exception of Valdor sprinting up through this building and straight through the door, kicked it in, and then assaulted these 2 guys. So he did 3 wounds. Adam saved the 2 of them, which were instant death, and just took 1 on the apothecary. So, and then he dealt 2 wounds back to Valdor as well, which was quite concerning. But
and they thunderhammered him in the face.
Sure did.
Now he's got no face, but he's still got 3 wounds left. So yeah, Valdor's pretty hard. Anyway, so it's currently we've both got 1 objective, and I have first blood and you have line breaker, and no one has warlord. So if it ends here, it is a draw.
Yeah.
So on a 3 up, do you want to roll it or shall I?
You went fast.
So here we go. Here's the dice. Are you ready? Oh, it's tense. I can't even see it. It's a 3. Yeah. So we've got a turn 6. We will check back in at the top of turn 6. So top of turn 6, eventful. The Leviathan was going to try and smash his way through that terrain there, but I failed to charge. Couldn't see with the Gravitron gun, so just shot a metal gun to the guys here, but didn't kill anything. Rhinos are all ready and revved up to go and shoot him with some bolt guns and maybe try and charge in on it if the opportunity arose, but didn't quite happen. Then the veterans over there ran onto that objective into the deployment zone, so that's relatively safe now. They're pretty safe in there. And then you might notice something's missing. Valdor did 4 wounds, 3 of which were instant death, but hey ho, 3 plus invulnerable saves are pretty good. And the apothecary tanked the lot, and then they beat Valdor to death with their thunderhammers a bit more. Suffered 3 wounds, and he was on 3 wounds left. So I'll take that away, and that's it. So good showing from the Iron Hand boss. The Delegatus has proved himself worthy. So that's it. So at the moment it is, well, I'll tell you what, we won't do the scores now. We'll we'll do a breakdown at the end of turn 6 and see if we continue. We will come back at the bottom of turn 6. Bottom of turn 6. Simon's gone for it, but talk us through it.
What has happened? I blame Valdor. I shouldn't, but I totally do. So losing him last time was poo. That kind of swung it for Iron Hands indefinitely. So the only hope I have now is to give up Linebreaker and just play to get these 4 Marines off of objective number 6 over there. So I've moved both Coronas over to get some line of sight on them. Only one of them was in range with the Lastrum Bolter, and the Arachnus Blaze Cannon had 1 shot from the Strength 8 concentrated beam. So he fired that. He did 1 wound to the Apothecary, but he looked outside it and then passed his
Cover save.
And then,
just interestingly enough, because it's Strength 8 and Iron Hand -1 Strength, he still gets Feel No Pain against that. Feel No Pain against melter weapons.
Laser beams.
And laser beams.
And then the Lastrum Bolter hit 3 times, did 3 wounds, but again, Adam's rolling really
So
hot with all of his saves.
Tanked them all on the Apothecary with Artificer Armour. Failed 1. Obviously, Feel No Pain to come, roll a 6. Pretty hard to take that.
And then finally, my second hope was to just put as many bullet holes into his Apothecary and his Lord, but again, he failed 1 but passed his Feel No Pain. So having those Apothecaries around is such a useful tool to have in a Marines list. So yeah, very little I can do now. So I think, do we want to see if there's a...
Yeah, so currently as it stands, we'll just do the scores. So currently it's 1 objective to the Iron Hands, 1 objective to the Custodes. But the Iron Hands have Linebreaker over there. They have Warlord. He's just right there, or Bodylocks. He's dead. And they also had First Blood. Yeah. So it's currently 6-3.
So let's see. So
on a 4+, we are got turn 7.
No. So that's
Here's a 1. So the Iron Hands have nicked it.
New model syndrome. They've been defeated.
Yeah, but it was a good game. Anyway, we'll do a quick. That'll be the end of turn 6. That's the end of the game. We'll come back with a little quick rundown in a sec. Right, so we thought we'd just come back with a quick rundown of the scores and just talk to you a bit about the MVPs, men of the match, whatever you want to call it, depends where you're from. So the final score was 6-3 to the Iron Hands. It's fair to say that there were some swinging points that sort of turned that game really. But you saw them in the game. The things that went against them was my first Leviathan getting absolutely shredded by his super duper dreadnought.
So the Galatas. Yeah.
The Galatas, that was pretty key. Obviously my veterans getting absolutely annihilated by a couple of custodians who just obviously been on the roids, absolutely murdered, death killed them, so that was pretty rough. If they'd stuck around longer, it would have been much easier for the Iron Hands. Equally, there were some key points for Simon, I'm sure, that could have would have, if they'd gone his way, particularly with Valdor, if that had gone the right way for him, which it very easily could have. He could have certainly swung it his way as well. So it was a really good game. Simon, do you want to talk us through what you thought went well and what you did?
Yeah. So we'll do a couple of close-ups quickly. So I think first impressions of Custodes, the way you deploy them is key in how they're going to run. So as you'd expect, they're high-cost models, so you're only going to be having a couple on the table. You want to definitely run them in small squads, not too small though. I think 4 is perfect, either deep striking or in the Coronas. On reflection, Guardian Spears aren't as good as the shields and the swords, just because you're always going to have rending with the swords, whereas the Guardian Spears are only AP2 once, and that's in the first round of combat. So they are cheaper.
Is that only when you charge, or is that all the time?
Only when they. Which ones?
The Spears, AP2 first round of combat, or only when you charge?
So the only way to get the AP2 +1 strength is you have to charge. So although they're cheaper, I would say the guys with the swords and the shields are more dominant, at least in competitive play. They're obviously awesome at taking out like veterans and Marines, which are really dominant in 30k. So I do recommend them there. But yeah, small squads, and be very careful with how you deploy them. If you're walking them, be cautious with your squad proximity, so keep them well spread out to avoid those blast templates, and yeah, keep your eye on cover and line of sight. MVP gotta be this dude right here. This guy is absolute killer for what he did. So first turn or second turn he took out the Leviathan Dreadnought, which is what, 200 points more, including the Rhino.
Drop pod. Yeah, 405 points fully kitted out that thing. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of points, but
and he's 250. So yeah, absolutely ace. Do recommend. Again, I walked him up the board. There's no other way of getting in there. Some people think that Valdor gives all Custodes deep strike. I don't think that's the case. I think it is only troops. But some guys will justify deep striking him, so fair enough if you do. It's the way the rule is worded, so yeah. But I'm
sure we'll see an FAQ at some point on that. The book's only just come out, so
yeah, we'll give Forge World a couple of weeks to get their finger out. But yeah, fair enough. But yeah, absolutely beast with the Rampage. He can get up to 8 attacks on the turn he charges with Rampage and Shred. He's an absolute monster versus armor vehicles and troops. So
basically anything. He's got Sunder. His attack. No, it's not Sunder. Is it Sunder? Rerolls failed. He's got Shred.
Shred. Yeah.
So he's re-rolling failed rolls to wound. So he's going to be wounded on 2s 9 times out of 10. Well, probably 10 times out of 10. Let's face it. There's not much as toughness 9. Yeah. So he's going to be doing damage to infantry and anything that's going to robots, which we do see from time to time. So if you're doing Custodes, I think that those Dreadnoughts are probably going to be pretty key for you, and they look absolutely sweet.
Yeah, they are very cool looking. Forge World have done an absolutely amazing job on putting this army together. The loser of the match, and no disrespect to Valdor, because I'm sure he's a great guy, but fuck me. Maybe it's because I'm proxying him with the event model, but he's not served me well this game. He's taken out some vets quite easily, but you'd expect that.
Yeah, it was going quite well for him until the MVPs, the Iron Hands, just were like, stop what you're doing, you baldy.
Yeah, it's taking, we've already said, digital cyber familiars on cataphracty dudes. Ace idea, works perfectly, impossible to get through. Even with instant death weapons,
Yeah, 3+ invulnerable save, big deal. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that, or are you?
A lot of people are uncertain on the old Coronas. So these are the transports. So because they can deep strike, some people aren't sure if they're worthwhile. I think they are. You've seen from this game that they are bullet magnets because they're armor 14. They're big and they're scary. They're the same size as a Spartan.
They have flare shields, can take flare shields, so that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at the Forge World.
Yeah. So
yeah, just so you guys can see what's on offer from Forge World these days. They're what they call the transfers that they've got. As you can see, they look pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely worth it. They're not too expensive in games terms, so they're 135 points base. And they can carry up to 6 Custodes, so a wicked way to keep them safe. They don't have an assault hatch, so they're not assault vehicles, so you're not charging first turn that you pop out of them. But it's a safe way to deliver a unit, and I think they're a steal for what their points are.
How many points are they, or are they kitted out?
135 or 155, because mine have Ceramite, armor Ceramite.
Fair enough. So yeah, they're pretty good. You've got to have a delivery system, I think, but if you're not deep striking, but yeah, probably worth their points. Yeah. So yeah, that's the Custode. So on to the Iron Hands. My MVPs obviously are the Baldy twins, purely because they kill Valdor, which is a pretty big deal in the world of 30k. He's a pretty good character. He's also a bit of a beat stick. I wouldn't say that was down to anything other than luck and the fact that I passed lots of 3-up invulnerable saves, really. Again, we've already alluded to it plenty of times, but Cyber Familiars for Iron Hands are absolutely
awesome.
Yeah, must take. Especially anything in Cataphracty armor, 3+ invulnerable save. My God, can be very frustrating to play against, I'm sure. They did really well. As you guys saw, I ran 3 units of veterans. I pretty much always do. I always take the Delegatus with the Right of War that allows him to take veterans. Having said that, actually, that reminds me, Delegatus has a special rule that if he survives the game, I get +1 MVP. So I've actually scored 7. Didn't even realise that. So because he survived, because he bashed Valder on the face. So yeah, I'll take that. Next thing, the Leviathan caused absolute carnage. The one that came on this side, came on, destroyed a unit of 20 Sons of Horus, their commander, then proceeded to go through multiple units of Custodians. So yeah, they did really, really well. Well, he did really, really well. Can't really complain. The Grav Flux Bombards, normally they do real work for me, but this game they weren't so good. But you know, swings and roundabouts. So
just before, I would add one more MVP. This guy, if he hadn't destroyed that Fire Raptor, that could have been a problem for those guys. So this guy is definitely earned a place up top.
Oh, and his mate with the Apothecary as well. I mean, the Apothecary stood there and just tanked a load of wounds to keep the objective. Because if I'd failed one of those saves, I'd have been taking a leadership check and potentially running off the table. So yeah.
So yeah, guys, don't forget your Apothecaries with Artificer armour.
Sergeants have all got to have Artificer armour as well. It's just really good for stopping Fire Raptors with their multiple high strength AP3. Obviously, Custodians have got a lot of high strength AP3 now. Your things like Vulcan Mega Cannons, you can just stop those just deleting units. So it's really, really important. Not just for Iron Hands, for everyone, but Iron Hands specifically, because -1 strength as well really adds up. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the game. I'm sure you guys know by now, if you've watched our channel before, that we tend to take let's say optimized lists. They're not complete filth. They're not you're not seeing massive invisible stars like you see in 40k.
Well, if you go back 2 years, you did, but we've moved on. We've grown up a bit now, so
yeah. So it's fair to say we do take optimised lists. We try and keep it relatively fluffy. Iron Hands generally would have a lot of veterans because it's only really the veterans left after Istvan. So that's my thought process on that.
Yeah.
Having said that, I can't bring myself to take Immortals just because I just don't think they're very good. Some of you guys probably do, but I've just not really. Can't really see them doing as much work, mainly because they're not scoring. I think that's a real letdown. Similar with Gorgons. So, but let us know what you think. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the game. Another victory to Iron Hands. We might be back soon, maybe. We'll see how it goes. It's been a while, but hopefully won't leave it as long this time. Yeah. Peace out, guys.